All right, it's a little bit of a long time coming, but we absolutely need to talk about the FMA live-action trailers that have come out.
It's important. It's essential because, I mean, at least as far as anime goes, for me, that was my first, so... important to, I had the hoodie that was red with the body transmutation circle on the back of it in middle school. Okay,
I can confirm this.
Oh, it was. You didn't even. I had it at the other middle school.
You had it in McNair.
I had it in McNair, and then I brought that shit to Edgewood, and I was like, only anime guy. No, it was great. Anyway, the point is, like...
FMA is what made you the anime kid at high school, or at junior high school, yeah.
And I remember it was because we watched the, what was it? It was on Adult Swim, and my brother's older friend was over and was like, hey, like, I don't know, can I watch this? And they made a joke because I was like 12 or something, and it's TV 14, and I was like, I don't know, should I? And then I saw it, I'm like, this is the best.
Absolutely. No, that's great, because, so, yeah, background. You have been into every FMA. Like, you've done it all, right?
All of it. I was straight to the vein, my man. The first one was the manga. I literally read the manga in Barnes & Noble. And, like we do. And then I saw all of the original series, the original season, done by the independent studio that, like, they only got to work with about a third of what she had done at that point. They took it in a completely different direction, did their own thing, did a movie, Conqueror Shambhala, about it. I was about FMA, hardcore about all of that. I had the art books. I drew a lot of inspiration from her style. Amazing artist, amazing characters, great stuff. And then they did Brotherhood, which was incredible. And I watched all of that, too. My sister and brother got into it then. Everyone got into it in Brotherhood. Brotherhood was the first, like, anime that came out that was brazen about how much it respected the source material.
It
was like, no, this is chapter to chapter.
And it was at the complete, like, heightened start of the anime, like,
yes.
craze.
It was the Golden Kid, man. It was Edward Elric is, you know,
I remember
touchstone.
specifically in junior high school being told to read FMA by this man. And being like, yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, you never do that.
No, I read like the first couple chapters and I was like, nah, I didn't really like it. I really just didn't. The thing is, for me, it really fell into that, what is that one that copied it that came out? With the white-haired kid?
You mean the seven of them?
The one that's bad, they have Akuma. More? He's got the cool character they have is Aleister Crowley, who is a vampire.
Oh, you mean,
what is that called?
What is it called?
Anyway, that show was out at the same time, or that manga was out at the same time.
It's not worth remembering. That's the real takeaway.
I remember both of them, and I was like, they're kind of the same thing. I knew FMA was better. Like, I'm not gonna like garbage it down.
No, but that was cooler because it had the. We'll just edit in the name.
We will. You'll see it here. Anyway, like that was out, and then years later, I ended up watching when Netflix came out. Basically, and we're talking way old school for probably some people. But yeah, Netflix came out and had the original FMA cartoon, and I watched all that. I loved the original cartoon actually. Then I went and read all of the mangas, so I've got my full game. I never watched any Brotherhood.
Brotherhood is just the manga, so if you read the manga, you're fine.
Yeah, I don't know, though. Isn't there, like, some extra action stuff in
I'm sure there technically is, but, you know...
What is it? Who's the kid from Shambhala, right? Like, isn't there, like, the martial artist, like, Chinese kid, basically?
No, he's in the manga.
He's in the manga. He fights,
Greed or...
The Führer in something. What is that in?
No, Greedling fights the Führer in the manga. It's just, in the manga, it's literally a panel of the Führer, like, rah, and the Greed, like, rah. They spice that up.
Okay.
This is Funimation's
I've seen, like, on YouTube,
swing.
like, a 5-episode, like, thing of them fighting each other.
Course.
I just wanted to get that straight.
The point is, it's a very richly decorated anime because of its amazing drama and balance. That's the two things, and I mean, it is pretty funny that those are the best parts of it because that's the theme of the show in the first place. Balance.
It's really interesting to like. I remember like first reading and very much like I compared it to like Harry Potter in that sense of like it was a very balanced story about a kid, but in a it was anime, so it was like kind of a more exotic environment and kind of more interesting. It got 2 animes before most people knew what anime was. Yeah, and that's just actually again
impressive.
decorated.
Absolutely,
anime.
yeah. And there's a lot of expectation, obviously, and so we watched the trailer, and we've got our perceptions of it. But really, what it does is it begs a lot of questions. My main concern is not how it looks. I think that's been put to bed. Looks, there's some...
For what it is,
tolerable.
It looks pretty good.
I have no real qualms for what I know is actually, expected of them. Like, the kind of alchemy that's really gonna happen, I'm like, oh boy, if they can do half of this stuff, cool, good for them. But that's me being very forgiving.
Yeah, and, we don't really care about the showpiece stuff.
Yeah.
We don't need, sure, the spear scene is nice, and, but that feels smaller, and that's what we appreciate way more than, we want to see a big city
Are they
get
going to slam the drama and, humor balance?
Exactly.
That's the big thing. Ed is historically... the short anime character, and the one who is most vocal about, hey, you better not, I'm tough too.
His whole story is a tragedy of an inferiority complex.
Exactly, so it needs to be addressed that's a real part of his character, and not just made as a joke aside later. Ed needs to be an animated, short-tempered, kind of humor-based character in that sense. There needs to be a lot of him, at least a third of him.
And again, that all has to be balanced out again on the flip side with an incredible amount of tragic sadness.
Exactly.
The acting we know it's a tall order. Being able to nailing the drama in it, and again, what we're saying is the drama is what's going to be important in the show. We've seen that they can do the spectacle scenes. The trailer very
and Alphonse looks fine. We're not worried about that.
I love how he looks.
Yeah, he looks good, ready to rock and roll.
I really hope they do, we were talking about conveying emotions. So one thing they did a lot in the anime, obviously, because it's an anime, is they do his eyes all the time in the armor, which wouldn't make any sense in real life. I really hope they do that like they did in Deadpool. They just very much animated it. It made no realistic sense, but it needed to be there to convey the emotion. I hope they do that to the armor.
That would be the most intelligent outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, the only other real concerns I have are casting ones. If they didn't get a bodybuilder for Armstrong, why is Armstrong going to be in the movie?
Yeah, if he's not shirtless and... honestly, I hate to say it. If he's not shirtless, bald, and alabaster white.
Yeah,
and jacked.
Just hire a foreign... I don't know,
Roy Mustang, he's going to be a Japanese character.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because he is the Japanese character. It's interesting because I know they're not going to be able to do the fire alchemy very well.
Yeah.
Not just they'll be able to do explosions and it looks fine.
It's too easy to do that.
The anime does it so well. Being able to follow it with the frame is really cool. But that's just something inherently in live action they're not going to be able to do as well. So that's why they're focusing on the particle kind of stuff.
It'd be too easy to just turn into a gunshot or something. Yeah. I can imagine animators just being oh well, we'll just do this because it makes sense to do that. There's too many simple solutions with a fire mechanic that we're not going to get a lot of cool ones, but they're going to focus on the actual stone and metal transformation, hopefully. What happens with the homunculus, though, is going to be interesting. Fight choreography is a huge component to this.
Yeah, again, talk about decorated in the anime. It has stunning fight choreography. Yeah. As much as, they have literally magic, they make Ed so acrobatic and actually really a martial artist.
Yes, it's a huge component of a lot of the characters' fighting styles. It is the most important component of all the homunculus fighting styles that needs to be communicated vastly. That the
way they move so inhumanly.
Yes,
is
that
so
is very important, and especially the regeneration thing, because their whole deal is you have to kill a homunculus 17 times before you even get to.
You gotta punch those stones out of them.
Exactly, and that's a huge component of it in all variations of Fullmetal Alchemist. So
we'll see how far this movie gets. I'm kind of curious what the scope is going to be. Obviously, we need the tragedy story, the exposition.
But the good thing about FMA is it is very segmented. There are lots.
True, they could kind of
ways.
Bump around.
Yeah, they could just end it with. There's a lot of it's clean. The story is clean and organized, so there are very distinct plots.
Places where they could start and end things.
Oh yeah.
But I'm super excited. Yeah. Obviously, you're super excited.
It needs to happen. So seeing it happen,
it has the potential to be one of the best animated anime movies that comes out.
It would, more importantly, it would make sense if it was.
Exactly.
People would be the FMA movie nailed it. Well, duh.
It deserves to be good. I mean, we really liked Kyoto Inferno, and we kind of put that on the pedestal of it's the best anime adaptation we've seen so far. But
well, we still have to talk about the detective.
Well, but anyway, like it's so like it's got a lot of opportunity, and so we're super excited. Like this video if you like it. Tell us if you're excited about the FMA live action movie, and we'll catch you guys on the flippity flop.